extent. Because I see it from a naturalistic point of view, and I think actually it could probably fit that definition to some degree. But you disagree with that? Yeah,
well,
that
naturalism,
nature.
what we're doing is kicking the can down the road, my brother.
All I'm saying is that nature is responsible for it rather than your deeds.
All right, then you just kicked it down the road because I'm going to tell you that the nature that you rely on to be consistent is going to be because of my God. So you're not really saying anything by saying that.
Well, I don't rely on nature to be consistent. That consistent, it's not always going to be one thing, one way.
So then, how is it intelligible that
weed out over 90%?
Isn't it already falling apart for you?
I'm just speaking on conditions like Earth. Earth will always have this way, and the nature inform Earth because the sun will turn into a white giant at some point.
Oh no! You can't go with that theory. It's not emergent. That's using the word emergent.
That's just stating that the sun is a star. It has a certain lifespan, and the conditions will not be what they are now. So it's not consistent with what it is now. The Earth will not be the same.
You can't look into the future that much.
So we can't tell. We can't use science to tell the age of the sun.
They're rethinking the idea of there being a red death. They're starting to rethink that idea that's probably never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
Yes.
An everlasting star.
Well, there's plenty of ones that are out there that are a lot older than ours.
But that doesn't mean they're going to last forever.
Well, they're fine forever, right? Like a billion years is a very long time.
True, but it still has a finite ending to it. It has
as far as we know.
His argument is that basically that is forever, but not mine. I mean, I want him to define forever.
Well, how can these elements evolve within 1 billion years that already happened with the previous billion years? I mean, we don't know. So yeah, it could be forever. We just don't know.
See, you're expecting, right, that the way it's uniformed, right? It's called the principle of not the principle of uniformity. Uniformitarianism. You're saying that in the beginning of the universe, that the electron weighed exactly the way it does now. So all the predictions that you're going to make about the past and the future, that electron will remain. But Renzo, you don't have evidence to prove that.
But I mean, if you're
just assuming that to be the case so that you can speak intelligently.
No, that's not it. If you assume that the sun will not die, let's put it like that, as you put it, then you're going to
the red death and how it's explained, they're rethinking that idea.
The bottom line is either or. It's going to not be what it is now. It's going to die. The star itself.
No, it can implode into a black hole.
But either way, it's not going to be what it is now, right? It's not going to be what it is now. The life on Earth will not be as consistent
that's not definitive, though.
Good point, David.
Okay. So if it's not definitive that every star will eventually die, well, I mean, if you follow that, then you go against the fundamental principle of astrophysics. That every star will eventually die.
Sounds like that principle seems to be your God. Because that principle can't change, right?
It's just it's part of a scientific understanding that I follow.
Sounds like an eternal principle to you, brother.
No, it just.
And how many times has science been amended to a different theory?
A lot. True, a lot.
So in the next few billion years before our star supposedly dies, can that happen again?
What exactly? A star?
Can a scientific theory, as far as you know it, change in those 1 billion years?
Yes, it's possible.
Okay, oh, thank you. So then it's not definitive.
But, like I say, for those who follow under science or astrophysics, and I'm not saying I'm an astrophysicist, I'm not Neil deGrasse Tyson, of course, but I do understand that it is a fundamental principle of that every star will eventually die. Okay, because they're fueled by
There was once, there's a fundamental principle that Earth was the center of the universe.
But this is the best understanding we can have to work.
Exactly. So,
right.
I guarantee you that principle is going to change. That understanding is going to change.
right now, if that's what we have to measure right now, and we have been correct in the past, who's to say the same what if could be, or if not more, of course.
You're not being charitable towards his explanation there.
How?
He's saying, because he's saying that we thought we were the center of the universe, right? But those scientists that believed in a geocentric model are still justified by their assumptions and their experience and their experiments, right? They're not completely wrong because it is relative. So we're not going to tell those scientists, oh, you did all this for nothing. But we still have to understand the universe as itself, the observable universe. We're in the middle of that. Science has a very difficult way of putting this picture out there because it does look like we are the center of the universe, even though we're not. Right? Because it's relative to where the center is. Because the center really is really not the center. Because the center of gravity of the sun is not the center of the sun, right? Or the center of our Earth. It's the center of gravity in between the star and the planet, right? So what's the center? Is it the center of the Earth, the center of the sun, or the center of gravity? That's the question you got to ask yourself.
No, again, of course, you're using these old examples to show that science can be faulty.
No, they're still justified by the scientific discoveries because nothing supersedes the observation, right? So the observation of things going around each other, that's observation. We're just looking at it wrong. So all those men that studied the geocentric model and then we switched to the heliocentric model, those men are still remembered as intelligent scientists because they were completely justified by the beliefs that they understood the universe to work in the way it did. So all those experiments are still justified by the belief of geocentrism.
Okay, all right. Now, you said all this fancy stuff to be the smart guy, but do you really believe that the sun, is not going to die, as you put it, or however you say it? I don't want to. You said something along those lines.
What I was saying before about the Andromeda galaxy, right? The Andromeda black hole, is that when the star eventually dies, it implodes and gets so dense, so dense and hard and heavy that even when it gets to the black hole, nothing is going to determine it to fall in or disintegrate. There are still stars today that are circular, that are going around these black holes that have not completely disintegrated or like imploded into the black hole.
Right.
The remnants of it is still there. So as much as you want to say, oh, like all stars die, let me tell you something, Renzo, we don't know. They just turn into a different state.
You did just say, I don't know if you said it wrong, but you did say it when it dies.
No, when it all right, so
the explanation did say die, but go ahead.
But die meaning in the sense of that it doesn't have the rays anymore, but the element of that star is still there because it's so heavy and dense.
Okay, and the element of the star, will it give us the same warmth and will it project to the Earth the same way it does as present?
Well, the warmth, you see, that's what I mean. You see, the warmth part is depending on our sensory, our senses, right?
That's what we know everything. Will it present as it is now? It'll
just be in a different state, and you're going to tell me things cannot be created or destroyed, right? You're going to use that principle? I'm just going along with the science, right? It's going to change state. It's going to change state, correct?
No, I'm just showing that the consistency of nature on Earth itself isn't consistent and won't be, even in the near future. When the sun goes
Consistency is for babies.
What you're saying.
Consistency is for babies.
Renzo, you gotta, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna beat you up here, Renzo. I'm just trying to build with you, my brother.
No, I'm just showing you the inconsistency of nature. You said it. You said
okay, so there you go.
See,
Nature is very inconsistent.
Nature,
Let's
and
not
I
argue
said
about it. Let's move to the next point.
Right. I said no. I actually think it's gonna be inconsistent. I don't rely on any consistency.
But just rely on God and you'll be fine.
Well,
Amen.
that sounds fun.
That's right, Jazzy. Let's go, Jazzy.
All right, so let's continue on, Paul. I know you got something else, man. Come on, man. got something. That was the only response to consistency argument thing you said. I'm like, I don't. Nah. Wait, you got anything else though? I actually want to. Nah, forget it. I ain't gonna go back to that. I'm gonna just let.
Yeah, but we already beat you in that debate. What debate do you want to lose at?
Well, which one? Which one I lost at, man? Which one? I thought we weren't taking L's and wins, man. We were just having a discussion.
Yeah, we were having a discussion. Yeah. Of course.
I mean, I'll take a W. That's fine. You don't have to.
Well, you take
I like
if you're doing science, it's tentative. It's a tentative number. You never actually hold on to.
All right, because you never know.
That's true, because the definition of winning can change. And
Yeah, so if anything, I take the W.
I mean, the SAR could explode in like 8 minutes from now, and I could be wrong. You're right.
I like building these discussions with Bart, but
I mean, that's all
I think he played
for the 4 minute now.
But no, you play stupid when it comes to the evolution argument, though. I always will say that.
I play stupid, honestly, because y'all be saying a lot of like really suspect, and like I'm not gonna sit here and explain things to you guys. I'm not gonna sit here because then that's when you guys start trolling, right? And once I start explaining it, if I say one thing, if I misspeak about one little aspect, you guys are just gonna harp on that one thing, right? Instead of building and letting that stuff go. You just want to harp on that one topic type thing, and then the build is gone, and then everybody starts crashing out, and you're stupid, You know what? I'd rather just have you say real shit, Renzo. I'm not here to teach nobody nothing.
Oh no, man, you're not gonna have that discussion.
I'm just here to teach Nate. That's it.
I'm gonna give you grace, bro. I'm gonna give you grace. I just want to build type stuff. I just want to see where it's gonna go and think a little more critically about it. But okay, but since you disagree with evolution coming from nature, from us evolving naturally through natural selection and things of that nature, I mean, can you still man that argument of a naturalistic explanation of evolution?
Still person.
You're gonna have to explain naturalism. We're gonna have to agree on the definition of naturalism, and I think that's gonna be a difficult.
Okay, how about that? I just changed the wording. How about I mean, you understand nature, so that evolution came about through nature, or
I have a nature distinction. I have a nature nurture. I have a creator creature distinction. So my creator creature, my presuppositions are going to be different from yours.
Right, but
I believe in a creator.
If I ask you to still man it, though. But if I ask you to still man minds, you should be able to do it the same way you asked me earlier,
If
right?
the creator created nature, then that's right.
That's it.
I'm just asking you to man. Not give me your. I know where you stand at. Where you want to land at. But I just want you to remember earlier you answered me the same thing.
What are you doing up here?
Yeah.
And in this argument, I just want to see where it's at. In this argument, if you can fully understand my point of view.
Last time you fought for anyone but yourself.
I understand your point of view. Because I cannot not be a materialist, a physicalist. That's within my paradigm. So it's not so much that I disagree with materialism or physicalism. I just think there's underlying principles that define what that is. Because that's not the only thing. That's not what's ontologically true. Is the physical. There is the duality of the physical and the non-physical. So I can't ignore the non-physical. I'm just going to the physical with you because then I just align myself.
I've just spoken about 19 times just to watch you die when I chuck you over this fucking wall.
But you're going to scientific argument.
And you must hear the divergence with the country. They all add up.
That's right.
I'm not spending my final hours with you two miserable kids.
Scientific, because I'm a scientific group, so it's not a scientific argument.
You're not a scientific realist because that don't make no sense.
No,
That's what he's talking about.
Well, yeah.
Science ain't real. It's ever-changing theories. Y'all be wilding out, man. Stop it. Don't argue argue with Concretia. The fuck? Boy, shut up. I don't know you.
Listen to the rationale. Science isn't real because it's the average human.
No, you know what's real? Facts. And what they do is tell you that science is real, but science is science. Right? There's a lot of faults and flaws and false narratives in science.
This is ion.
Okay, so how come Einstein's theory of relativity was so different from Newtonian gravity? Oh, because science is accurate. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Two scientists, two different theories about the same concept. Like I said, keep on believing these crackers if you want to. Your ass gonna be dumber than a box of rocks.
Science is so it's not science.
She brings up an interesting point there, and I want Dave to piggyback here with me because I'm probably not going to be using the right language. But when it comes to Newtonian physics, right, Renzo, we're not going to use that logic in Newtonian physics that we would for quantum mechanics, right? It doesn't apply. So that logic in quantum mechanics is going to be different than the logic that we use for quantum mechanics, correct? Do you understand that?
Are we still on the subject of evolution?
Yes. So the observation, nothing supersedes the observation, right? So we adjust the logic so we can understand the observation. We're not gonna use the logic of Newtonian physics in quantum mechanics. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you, Renzo? Because that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And I think that's what you're kind of doing, right? You're using the same logic that you're using.
Nah, I think you're a little off on this one.
No, it's correct because like what you understood about protons and electrons and neutrons, that goes out the window once you get into quantum physics, quantum mechanics, because you get inside. You understand what quants do. What quants do is actually more important to why neutrons, electrons, and protons move the way they do, because it has nothing to do with protons and neutrons and electrons. It has to do with quants. So yeah, it throws a lot of those theories out the window, and we're still in the very early stage of understanding, quantum mechanics. So science it keeps changing.
Did you understand that conclusion?
So a scientific argument based on
bitch.
So a scientific argument based on like the fossil record. Hold on. So a scientific argument for evolution based on the fossil record.
Fossil, that's lowbrow thinking.
Hold on, wait. But it's only one variable, is it not? I mean, it's not the only thing. I'm talking about like comparative anatomy. What else we got here?
Yeah, but that's low resolution thinking. That's low resolution thinking.
So the DNA and all the genetic evidence and all this, that has nothing to do with evolution. Like, we can't use that for evolution. You're saying that's just lowbrow thinking. That's just dismissed. Basically,
the reason why we say
you're about fossils, yeah. It was like here's about fossils.
The reason why we say lowbrow
is the historical record of life.
It's not insult, but
it shows the progression. It shows the fossil record. Hold on, wait a second. Y'all really telling me that?
Now listen, all you're doing is relying on time. All you're doing is relying on time to begin.
Yeah, so it's basically two different disciplines, right? It's like basically trying to take Bonquisha and using that information to understand like a real woman.
To understand Concretia.
Normal, right? You use this information to like determine what a good woman is.
Hey, the guava in the fact that Concrete don't understand what's going on, so he starts to add on.
So if you use
Concrete was lost. Can someone explain to him what we're talking about?
To try to understand a good woman.
Jasmine, this isn't the ghetto, Jasmine. Let him finish.
You literally have to get a good woman to understand a good woman, not a Bonquisha. Not gonna work. You're just gonna always come to bad conclusions about good women if you use Bonquisha.
I was just a little wrong back.
You said you can't use a Bonquisha to measure what it is to be a woman?
Exactly.
And we can't use a Bahamian to measure what a black man is either. Goddamn singing a Caribbean nigga. Shut up, you're not black.
Exactly.
We can't use a Bahamian man to know about black Americans. You can't use a man that sits on Clubhouse in Barnes and Nobles all day to know what's going on with black men. You're not a normal black man. And you're also not a white man. You're just a nigger that wants to be white. You're just a nigger that wants to be smart. And you was sitting here lost as hell. You know who wasn't lost? Bunquisha.
Right,
Ding, 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 ding,
let's get back to
Okay,
the
okay, all right.
Bunquisha was here.
So
For my research with evolution through the scientific, looking through scientific methods, they look at the fossil record. Scientists, from what I see, they study the transitional fossils that display characteristics of different species that descended together. Just like the
but that
RPA
doesn't tell us the conditions, though. That's not going to explain the exact conditions as what's going on. So
But it explains the process of. That's what I'm saying. It explains, gives you an idea of the process of.
Yeah, it's not a process. It's not a process.
The process of evolution through the fossil record, you can see the changes over time, can you not?
Yeah,
The transitional
now
fossils
you're
and
making
stuff.
this. But see what you're doing? You're making this a philosophical argument. You're not making this a scientific
A
argument.
philosophical
You're not making
argument.
this. Yeah, you're not making it a scientific argument. You're
Oh, it's based on science.
No, here we go with this science word. You
Think about it. Hold on, think about it, right?
Paleontology.
Paleontology is philosophy a science? No, it's not. It's a science.
No.
Paleontology is a science.
Ology means science.
Right, and paleontology means the study of ancient life through fossils.
But science is a philosophy word, though.
It's a school of thought still.
Wait.
Science is naturalism.
Nah, naturalism exposes naturalism. Science.
I know y'all ain't trying to say science is a philosophy.
Science is philosophy, bro. What are you talking about?
Somebody help
Is it
me.
serious?
It is, yeah.
Yes.
So science is a philosophy.
Slap the
It's
It's a
multiple
very
years.
rigorous version of philosophy. It's just this particular brand of it. That's all it is. It has certain conditions, like you have to measure shit, you have to be able to repeat stuff. That's all it
You have
is.
to assume naturalism.
Rule.
You have to assume, there's a whole bunch of
There's nothing natural about guessing how old something is.
No, naturalism means that, hey,
Okay.
the science
Now I just looked it up here.
Scientists assert that there's like a phenomenon, and it's gonna have a naturalistic explanation rather than a supernatural explanation. That's science.
No, that's not science, dumbass.
Oh my god. Can someone help me?
Look up the definition
No,
of
I'm
science.
not going to help you, Nathan. You deserve it now.
Wait a second.
So here, I'm gonna use another.
I tried. You cut me off, man.
So here, let's use Bunquisha as an example.
All right, have a good day. Because this dumbass nigga not adding nothing to the conversation. And y'all keep letting dumbass black men that don't do nothing but lay slabs of fucking concrete down talk to y'all about science. This nigga doesn't know about science. He's a dumbass black criminal nigga. He's a criminal black man. Period. Concrete. I can't even hear you. That's sad. All I hear is wah 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 wah. Bitch, cry baby bitch, cry baby bitch. Cry baby bitch, cry baby bitch. You
Hold on, but I think I got them with this. Hold on, I might get Hold on, I think I got some on this, man. Hold on, no, wait, Marcus. No, it was a statement. It was a statement that everybody agrees on that science is a philosophy, and I still disagree. I looked it up here. I'm just saying if y'all agree with this or not. No, science and philosophy are distinct disciplines. While they are related and influence each other, they are not the same. Science is a systematic process of acquiring knowledge through observation and experimentation, while philosophy is a broader field focused on fundamental questions about existence, knowledge, values, reasons, mind, and language. Y'all agree with that?
Yes.
No, I don't agree. I disagree.
So after the observation, right? After we collect the data, right? Do we get experience from the data or the observation?
Do we get experience?
Yes, the experience is not from the data. The data is just numbers on a page, right? But the experience
It's
is where we
anecdotal.
get is where we get the understanding
what?
of it because
Anecdotal.
so because
Good weddings and stuff.
What about Matge Ben David, Avram Fried?
Oh, sure. Mordechai Ben David.
Oh, those are big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are great. There's a really good.
Mashiach.
Then there's like. Have you heard of Pirchei Eretz HaKodesh? Do you listen to like boy groups?
Birchai, I've never heard of that. I've heard of some Yeshiva Boys Choir, Miami Boys Choir.
Yeah, Miami is a big one. It's always been.
Mashiach.
Then in Israel, they had
Did
the.
you kick out John Kidlover? Yaakov? Yaakov?
Well, if you ever want to hear any Mizrahi Chazanot, there's a really, really great tenor. Strong voice. His name is Amir Zriha. And it's just powerful. And then there's this other
Yaakov.
guy, Umberto Mizrahi.
Yaakov.
Yaakov.
Yoo-hoo, Yaakov. Where do you go?
Shabbat Shalom.
Yakov? Yakov, are you there?
I don't think he's there.
Yeah, no, I know. I was just trying. Maybe he would hear me this time.
And I don't know if he's closed the app because he's still here.
He probably left his phone somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, Al, that's what we need. Maybe we could get Leslie back in here, or Jeff.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, maybe Lawrence, maybe you could call Jeff or text him.
Hold on. I'm working on something. Give me a second.
Leslie, what happened to you? I talked to you and I'm out.
We ended this room. Like, Brina and I left. And I see what's happening here. I'm not really in for this, but yeah, I understand now. Lawrence, thank you. Yeah, was Yakov there?
No.
I suggest everyone just leave.
Yeah.
So confused. Wait, were there just people? Is there something? Huh? Oh.
there any life in this room? What's going on?
Are you there? Lawrence. Lawrence.
Hello, try get the volume turned down.
Oh, no, I'm trying to get Lawrence. Okay.
I haven't heard for that.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Lawrence, can you go ahead and kick this guy from the room?
Whoa.
What? No, kick the guy and help the fortress. Kick the guy out. I don't have This guy,
Yaakov,
Fauci, Ramsey, whatever it is. Kick him.
can you check your Insta?
Lawrence, yeah, sure.
Lawrence, can you use ultimate to kick him, please?
Yep.
Hey, what's John doing? John, don't record the room, please. I don't see anything. Now, Lawrence.
A little jihad. I love this topic. Jihad. Yaakov.
I'll see you there.
Yakov?
Yeah.
Could you kick out John Kidlover, please?
creedal stuff, so they would be, generally speaking, they adhere to and accepted the ethnic creed historically.
So, with Aya, for example, says that they are much less fanatical, shall we say, and their observance of Islam more liberal, more Western leaning, while at the same time being very strict on crime. Surely you don't disagree with that.
No, in terms of crime, they're very strict on crime.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe in leniency on crime, actually. I think that, personally, I think that countries like the United Kingdom, various other countries, they should bring back things like the death penalty and capital punishment. Especially with crimes against children.
It's largely uncivilized, so it's actually on the way.
And I honestly, I'm against any idea of people migrating to Europe or Muslims migrating to Europe or the United States or Canada or any of these places.
I agree.
And now in regards to, because it's even spoken about from some past scholars, like, what was his name? One very well-known scholar that passed.
We are also opposed to Muslims migrating here.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Anyway. There's a statement that was made back in the 90s. A man named Muhammad Nasruddin al-Albani, who was a very well-known scholar, contemporary scholar within the Islamic world.
Oh, he's Egyptian, right? Isn't hijab related to him? Oh, sorry.
Muhammad Nasruddin al-Albani, as his name implies, he's Albanian.
Oh, yes. I thought you meant Bana. Do you know Bana, right? No. From Egypt. Oh, okay.
And there's actually a couple of people with that name. I think it's a family name. But, but anyway, going on to that point, he asked, the question was asked to him, and he said, "Oh, noble Sheikh, what advice do you have for the Muslim youth in Canada?" And he said that they leave Canada immediately and move to an Islamic country, which I agree with. I don't think that any Muslim that values their religious principles should mass migrate to Western countries. It's not advisable at all.
Well, just in the conversation that you and I have had, you made it clear to me that you felt that I owed you jizya as a non-Muslim man. Is that correct?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, in your view, all non-Muslim men, whether we live in New York, Vatican City,
depends on their financial status.
Yes, but
unless of course they're also within unless of course they're also over a certain age bracket.
Right. So you feel
if you're a senior citizen, okay.
That non-Muslims who can afford it, who are men, who are
non-Muslim that aren't members of the clergy, that aren't poor, and that aren't senior citizens, then yes.
Hang on. You don't have to talk over somebody. You don't have to talk over me. Basically, most of the world who are men owe you money because we're not.
No. Jizya only applies to Jews and Christians.
Oh, okay. So every Jew and Christian in the world within a certain age group who can afford it owes you money.
No, it only applies to men too.
I just said men. Mandalore.
You said every.
I said men. Your English is really lacking here. So try to just listen slowly before you come off mic. So you feel that passive aggressive insults. Nobody's being passive aggressive. You're the one who feels that the world owes you tax, not me. Talk about passive aggressive. Now, this is the entire world. This is the entire world.
It's funny because of the fact that I managed to trigger you.
I'd like to hear what Norm is trying to say.
He's actually what it is he's actually triggered by something.
No, I don't think I'm triggered. I find it remarkable that a person would claim to have any moral authority after saying that the men of the world, who are Christian or Jewish apparently,
owe him jizya. By the way, I think the rest of that is he'll kill the ones that are not Christian or Jews. Yeah. The option is that fair to say?
I mean, hey, El Normo. I mean, thank you for exposing him. Hey, Mandalore. I'm Christian, Arab from the Middle East. If you want my money, come get it, buddy. Come get it. Give it a shot.
Come and take it.
Come and take it, bro. I dare you to. Come on, come get it.
What I like about Norm is that, for the most part, I do not really hear Norm getting triggered, but I do hear Norm getting legitimately frustrated when people don't let him engage. One of the things that's very frustrating, I've noticed this happening for Norm over the past few days, is Norm is a good listener, and so it's easy for you to get their point. When they say 30% of their sentence, you're like, oh, I got it. But of course, you know, it's frustrating for that person, even though you did deduce accurately what they were going to say. Hey, we still got to let them finish, and fucking then we respond. It's very annoying.
Yeah. Hey, I have an idea. If Mandalore, if you want, what you can do is set up a GoFundMe page for your little jizya idea, and I might give you $1. Come on, dude.
You can set up a go fuck yourself page.
I think it's a certain percentage. Fine.
Excuse me. No.
I'd be in trouble. I'd be in trouble.
There's no percentage. It's only the tribute called zakat that is given by the Muslim. That is 2.5% of their salary. There's no limit on jizya. In fact, historically we have records of being around 10%, 40% of their salaries.
Up to 50%.
Yeah, and even to a family member, for example, that you give to your driver. And by the way, for the people who don't know, this is a rule that is more detailed. Muslims live in that
And you know this ayah because you grew up in Islam, so I have a first-hand relationship with it. Ayah.
Sorry.
I say you know this because you grew up in Islam, and so you have a first-person relationship with all of this.
I mean, there's no Muslim country that does the jizya, but you know it used to be done before under the caliphates, and yet, as I grew up as a Muslim, I left when I was 26, 27. I was assuming.
I mean, it looks like what I'm seeing in Gaza, for example. It looks like Hamas is exacting attacks from all the people who live there. So if it's not jizya, I read recently that this is how they fund themselves. They're taxing the population 10 to 15%. That's what I was. So I don't know if this is related. I'm not that familiar with the Muslim taxation system. So if anybody wants to explain it to me, you can. But the interesting thing is that Mandalorian felt that I owed him money, and right now I'm in New York, and I guess Fadi owes him money. And
Come get it.
Fadi, I think, is in. I'm going to make up a place.
Canada.
No, I was going to say what's those moose? What's one of those funny names they have up there?
Nunavut?
Well, none of it.
Moose Gigantic?
There's one that has moose in the name, I thought. Like
Moose? There's a lot of them. Is he?
Jaw.
Moose jaw. Okay, or moose testicles or something like
that. Jaw, yeah.
We got a place up here called Moose Head.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Zach, why do you not want any Muslims to immigrate to
I was just joking.
Oh,
yeah, I was just joking. It was just funny because he said,
I was recording you. You ruined my clip.
No, it was just funny because he said, I don't believe any Muslim should emigrate here. And the funny response is, good, we don't want you to emigrate here either, you fucker. Sorry for cursing, sorry.
I've spoken to many Muslim people. I've lived in predominantly Muslim countries for many.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I've never encountered any Muslim person ever, and I've unfortunately hung around extremists, not intentionally, but I just was in that situation, and I've never been asked for jizya until today.
I very much do not have a problem with Muslim people. I live in a place where there are some Muslims around, and they're very fine people. So I don't have a problem with Muslims. I was just trying to be funny.
Yeah, I mean, I really do think that Mandalore should set up a jizya GoFundMe. Maybe he'll get some.
Yeah, you're an Arabic speaker, you know that the jizya is only applied under academy. That's why.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Fadi, I'm sorry. It's a new business that I'm starting up, and don't steal the idea. It's called Jizz on Me.
Okay, no, why?
It had to be done. Come on, I think that's pretty darn good. I'm gonna write that down.
So, yes, I have a question for Sabina. Sabina, you said something earlier. Are you okay if I ask you the question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you said something about maybe family units should be allowed to immigrate, not single men and women. Do you put the culpability on, like when you have something disgusting like what happened to Sarah, like these young men following her, looking at her child, all of it's just completely disgusting, horrible. I put the blame on number one, the young man. I think men should be held to a much higher standard in today's society than they are. But the second place I go is the parents. Like for you, who do you put the blame on? The country letting them in, the young man, the parents, their religion. Like, how do you think about that?
I would say it would be like a multiple different things. So I would agree that I think in her case it wasn't men, it was little boys, and so I think society needs to be more firm on boys. But I would also blame the parents, but I would also blame the government for not enforcing. So that's why when Braverman came out and said, this was going on, she was doing the job that maybe some other politicians didn't do because they didn't enforce the law. So there should be enforcing the law as well, if that makes sense. But the reason I was saying that family units come together are better is because they will be able to, it takes like a village to raise kids. So bringing a bunch of single men from a war zone into a new country it's not a good idea, even when you look at the migration patterns of like the early 1900s, when you look at like immigrants that were like coming from Europe and stuff, it just worked better when you bring family units rather than single people. Like, does that make sense?
I'm struggling with something there because, and I realize it's multiple factors. You see, if I have a boy and a girl, I have a young man who's 13 years old and an amazing girl who's 9. If my son did that, my God, it would be, I would lose my mind. I would absolutely lose my mind. And I would lose my mind. First, I blame myself as a father. Young boys look up to their father. My problem with the family unit thing is like that person who did that, maybe you don't know about their situation, but in general, like you're bringing the family unit over. I don't know that solves the problem because like that's what the family, or you don't know about some circumstance, maybe their father died, whatever, or they're, I don't know that solves the problem, right? I think the family.
Right. It doesn't, but if you brought in, let's say you brought in like thousands of European men and brought them into India or the Middle East or Bahrain. Let's say you brought like thousands of like young, European men from the age of like 18 to 30. They would feel threatened by that. That would threaten any population if you bring that many people in, because who's gonna marry these young men, right? And then there are 5 age as well. So that's different. Like if you bring a bunch of seniors, it wouldn't be the same. The seniors won't be able to give back to society in the same way, but they can take care of, like,
you're removing those young men from their structure, like their seniors, like their the elders, like there's a whole group of people that would be able to, like, I don't know if you know this, right? In my culture, I'll give you an example. In my culture, this is a well-known thing that happens, if you guys can hear me. When a young kid, right, from my country misbehaves sometimes Somali parents will take them back to Somalia and leave them there.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's
Yes.
what?
Yeah, it's called Dakan Elis. Dakan Elis is return to the culture. Why? Because if you come here and you can't follow the rules here, you have to go back home and learn how suffering there is.
I thought they couldn't return back home because there was like the war-torn refugees.
No, but that's the point. Sometimes you're sending them to death because it's dangerous, right? But the point is that if you're misbehaving here, some parents will take you back there so that you could learn better.
That's insane. Have they ever heard of grounding a kid? Grounding.
No,
In America, we have a thing. We take away privileges like no television or something like that. We don't take them back to Somalia.
I'm telling you, if it works. I've seen them. They come back straighten up because they understand that you're living.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. Some people consider it abuse. I'm not saying this is the right thing to do, but you know, but it's a form of deportation. Like our people do this to each other. Like, and so if a young daughter starts behaving a certain way, you send her back, and when they come back, usually they're scarred. It's really a bit extreme to do, but at least it gives them perspective. It allows them to understand that okay, that's how people living there, they come back more appreciative and less likely to do violence.
I just want to say that as an American, I absolutely disagree with having to pay a jizz tax, which is a poll tax essentially. But American men and women should never have to pay a jizz tax to barbarian conquistadors.
And the tax on jizz.
Sabina, it's interesting you say that. So what my dad would do when I got off path, like came home with a B, or heaven forbid a B minus, he would threaten me with going back to the homeland, but it's for a different reason. It's for the sacrifice that he made to leave the homeland, and to leave the homeland for a better future for us. So it's interesting the way it's framed in.
That's the same framing. Yeah.
You think it's the same frame?
Yeah, it's the same framing. Yeah, because it's supposed to teach you like, you made a sacrifice to come here. Why are you going to become a gangbanger or something like that? Right?
B minus.
No, it's.
We're a jizz tax collector.
I don't know. It's not just grades. It's like other things. It's more severe things. Like it's extreme stuff that they're sent back for.
For me, it was a B minus.
Could you be sent back for murder for reconditioning and then come back a good person?
Yes,
there's a local politician here in my state who says that she's actually from Somalia, and she says that her number one priority, now that she's a member of the American House of Representatives, is to help Somalia.
Wait, I just want to say something quickly, because Sarah, you said in the chat there is no honest Muslim. That would be considered Islamophobia, actually. That comment would be considered Islamophobia. Why do you say that?
She's talking about the taqiyya.
I think I would call that Islam hate.
Sorry, I kicked myself out. I'm talking about that phenomena where they're allowed to lie. If you say, "Are you Muslim?" and then they say, "No, I'm not," and I've heard it a few times on Clubhouse, where they're like, "I'm not Muslim," blah blah blah, blah. And yeah, it's some kind of thing where they lie because they have to protect themselves somehow from being perceived as Muslim, which in itself is an oxymoron, right? If you were living honestly, you wouldn't need to lie.
Isn't that only if your life was threatened?
I thought it's just if you're captured, like it's in a war type thing.
Yeah.
But I think they're joking. Genuinely,
they're saying like one sentence later that they are a Muslim, so I think they actually are just lying or joking. Yeah.
But if you're being hunted, right? Let's say the way like like Jews were being hunted, like in World War II. Like you can't lie and say, wouldn't you do that in that kind of situation?
Christians and Jews are hunting Muslims now?
No, I said in World War II when Jews were being hunted.
I would like to answer that. See, you must first understand the concept of Islamic division of areas. Islam is basically, you can say, broadly divided into categories. One is Darul Aman, where the Islam is reigns supreme. It is under Islamic control. Then there is Darul Harab, that is where Islam is at war with others. Whether you like it or not, it is always at war with infidels. So now your country is Darul Harab. Okay, so they are at war, whether you realize it or not. They are at war. They want to overpower you. So it is permissible to lie, and it is not just Takia. You can go through Kitman, Borna, Hiyal, and other forms of deception. And if you go to the Islamic rooms, you will find a lot of these kind of lies they say, and it is almost compulsive lying that they do